Мы знаем, что преступление совершено руками радикальных исламистов, с идеологией которых сам исламский мир борется веками. Мы видим также, что США по разным каналам пытаются убедить своих сателлитов и другие страны мира в том, что по их разведданным киевского следа в московском теракте якобы нет. Что кровавый теракт совершили последователи ислама, члены запрещенной в России организации ИГИЛ. Мы знаем, чьими руками было совершено это злодеяние против России и ее народа. Нас интересует, кто заказчик. В ходе совместной работы наших спецслужб и правоохранительных органов нужно получить ответы на целый ряд вопросов. Например, действительно ли радикальные и даже террористического толка исламские организации заинтересованы в нанесении ударов по России, которая выступает сегодня за справедливое решение обострившегося ближневосточного конфликта? И как радикальные исламисты, позиционирующие себя, кстати, в качестве правоверных мусульман, исповедующие так называемый чистый ислам, идут на совершение тяжких зверств и преступлений в священный для всех мусульман месяц Рамадан. На эти, как и на другие, более конкретные профессиональные вопросы для объективного расследования преступления, совершенного в Москве, предстоит ответить. Абсолютно ясно одно. Ужасное преступление, совершенное 22 марта в столице России, это акция устрашения, как я уже сказал. И сразу же возникает вопрос, кому это выгодно? Это злодеяние может быть лишь звеном в целой серии попыток тех, кто с 2014 года воюет с нашей страной руками неонацистского киевского режима. А нацисты, как хорошо известно, никогда не брезговали использовать самые грязные и бесчеловечные средства для достижения своих целей. Тем более сегодня, когда их
impossible. It controls an area the size of the United Kingdom, commits mass atrocities, and launches terror attacks abroad. But to understand ISIS, it helps to tell the story of its rise. And that story begins far away and many years before the group existed. In 1979, the Soviet Union invades Afghanistan to defend a puppet dictator against rebels. Young men from the Middle East flock in to join the rebels. Many see it as a religious struggle, and some develop extremist views. Among them is a well-educated young Saudi named Osama bin Laden. Also in Afghanistan is a semi-literate former street thug from Jordan, calls himself Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. They do not get along and never will, but will create the groups we today know as Al-Qaeda and as ISIS. The Soviets withdraw in 1989, and the Arab fighters eventually go home. Bin Laden grows Al-Qaeda into a global network to continue the struggle against Islam's enemies. Zarqawi forms his own group, but it fizzles. Both men later return to Afghanistan, now ruled by the Taliban. On September 11, 2001, Al-Qaeda attacks America from its base there. The US invades Afghanistan. Bin Laden flees to Pakistan. Zarqawi, still obscure, flees to a remote and lawless corner of Iraq. 2 years later, the US does something that will transform the Middle East and set the stage for ISIS.
My fellow citizens, the dangers to our country and the world will be overcome.
The Americans topple Saddam Hussein's secular, mostly Sunni dictatorship, and it disbands the Iraqi army. Thousands of Sunni Iraqi soldiers, angry and unemployed, join the insurgency. Jihadist groups, who are also Sunni, see this as a repeat of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, and again they flood in to fight. Zarqawi is among them. Zarqawi's group eventually becomes Iraq's most ruthless. He especially attacks Shia, deliberately sparking a Sunni-Shia civil war. By 2004, Zarqawi is a jihadist superstar. Al-Qaeda, isolated and weakened, attempts to bolster its image by forming an alliance with Zarqawi's group, which becomes known as Al-Qaeda in Iraq. But in 2006, Iraq's Sunnis rise up against Zarqawi, and the US kills him in an airstrike. Over the next few years, Al-Qaeda in Iraq is largely defeated. The Americans withdraw in 2011 from an Iraq that finally looks stable. 2011, the Arab Spring spreads across the Middle East. In Syria, dictator Bashar al-Assad cracks down violently on protesters. They eventually fire back, leading to a civil war. Assad fears the world will intervene against him, so he releases jihadists in large numbers from Syrian prisons, tinging the rebels with extremism and making it harder for foreigners to back them. Back in Iraq, what little remains of Zarqawi's group is still allied with Al-Qaeda, but now known as the Islamic State in Iraq. It's led by a bookish religious scholar who calls himself Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. In 2012, Baghdadi sends a top deputy to Syria to start a new Al-Qaeda branch to fight alongside the rebels, Jabhat al-Nusra. Baghdadi attacks a series of prisons in Iraq, frees former jihadists, and recruits new ones, growing stronger. In April 2013, Baghdadi announces he is taking control of all Al-Qaeda allied forces in Syria and Iraq. His group expands into Syria, becoming the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or ISIS.
They oughtn't to appear in the same sentence. Because, of course, the West are responsible for ISIS. It was the West who created ISIS, both directly and indirectly. Don't shake your head. Even Tony Blair accepts that. President Obama made the case very clearly just a month or two ago. ISIS, he said, grew out of our invasion and occupation of Iraq. It's an example, he said, of how we should aim before we shoot. And he was right about that. But what is less well known, I'm giving the information. What is less well known?
Reading out of the book of Isaiah chapter 14 verse 21, and it reads, "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." Verse 22, "For I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, son, nephew, said the Lord." Giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power of Israel, Yahweh, Bashima Mashiach Yahushai, Ruharu Kakudash. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles, and the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness and sincerity. Again, I'm going to say shalom. Quick notification. We're going to bring out some scriptures and I'm going to wind it down. It won't be too long. Check this out. Check this out. It says death toll rises to 133 in Moscow terror attack. 11 suspects arrested. That was Saturday, around 10 a.m. End time headline reported. Right? Russian concert hall. ISIS claims credit. that notification was Friday. Okay. Let's get the RT account. This is yesterday. This is from RT News from Sunday. The RT notification reads, death toll in Moscow terrorist attack rises to 137. Shalom, family. As an addition to the video that I'm going into regarding this this terror attack on Russia, I had mentioned Operation Enduring Freedom. And remember, America funded the Taliban. And the Taliban at the time, when you do the research, the Taliban was fighting off Russia. Okay. So America, you check it out, America has been in proxies. They have been involved with proxies fighting Russia for quite some time. But to the, most current event, that terror attack, ISIS claimed responsibility. And we know that America created ISIS. Check out this notification. This is just a short edition. Check out this notification right here. It says, this comes from RT. It says radical Islamists carried out Moscow terror attack. Putin. There was another one. One moment. This is the one I want to bring out. This was from Saturday. Excuse me. It says, everyone behind Moscow terror attack will be punished. Putin. But again, ISIS was created by America. I'm going to do my best to push that and show y'all that history. And we're going to link it up with today's war. I mean, it's a world war, and it's going to get... it's going to end, nuclear. Because at some point, Russia's going to snap. And I think this could trigger it. Or it could be something else. But I just want to add that. Shalom, family. Stay tuned. Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. It's a quick segment. It's an add-on to this Rumble edition. Shalom, family. Call Halal Yahweh, Bashima Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Ruha Rukakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, everyone teaching this truth. I just want to give a quick shalom, just a quick add-on to what's going on regarding that terror incident. And now you had an incident in America where you saw the rig just take down an entire bridge. Right? Let's get a precept. Let's get a scripture. Let's get 1 Thessalonians 5:3, and it reads, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And you know what's scary about that video? There were construction guys working on top of that bridge, man. And you saw all of them die. And that's the Spirit of the Lord on this earth. Okay? And we're going to get so many more reports. Because the media downplaying that. In the initial report, they said there was no injuries. And I knew that was a lie, because when I saw that, you saw vehicles going into the water. So how could the media lie and tell you nothing didn't happen? And you could see the vehicles going in the water, right? But let's go into a report from RT. Okay, this is all going to be an exclusive to a Rumble video I'm setting up. But it's getting very serious out here, y'all. This was yesterday, 8:37 a.m. RT News reports. I'm only Salakia. Give you the notification. It says the United States, UK, and Ukraine may be behind Moscow's terror attack. FSB chief. Okay. United States, United Kingdom, and Ukraine may be behind Moscow terror attack. And that's bad. Excuse me. That's not good. It goes back to this whole how ISIS was built. And I mentioned this in the previous segment. Okay, America created them from the Taliban. You know, you took when they took down bin Laden, Gaddafi, and Saddam. Yeah, ISIS run around, and the weapons they used were all from America. And now Russia's, you know, they're pointing finger towards the United States, UK, and Ukraine. Mind you, there's still a war. Well, what's left of that war, because I've said this so many times. Russia is going to just annex all of Ukraine as they did Georgia. They're going to take the whole damn thing. That's all. But that's still going to escalate this war, family. So keep the commandments. I'm going to try to finalize this video. It'll be a Rumble exclusive, and stay up, okay? Stay up on these global events, okay? Keep in mind that bridge that collapsed. I chiefly believe that was a hacker group that got involved with that. More than likely a foreign hacker group. I don't think that was a domestic hacker group, but that was more than likely probably from, you know, a foreign source, not within the States. But stay tuned, family. I'm going to prep this video. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, power of Israel. Shalom, family. Stay tuned. I'm on sidebar. Excuse me. We all remember the accounts on how ISIS was built and created, chiefly by the West. We can go back to 9/11, Operation Enduring Freedom. Okay, they took down Osama bin Laden. Then they took down Saddam Hussein. They alleged he had nuclear weapons, and he only found like 2 chemical vans, and they said that was a reason to overthrow Saddam. Then they killed Omar Gaddafi. Now, when you go into the history during that war, right? This Operation Enduring Freedom. September 11th was 2001, I believe. It's been a while now. America was excuse me. America was helping. How do you say? I don't know if it was the Afghanis in that region at that time when they were fighting off this alleged terror group. Okay. The issue at hand with this post-Russia terror attack is how ISIS really came to strength. Because you didn't really hear about them when bin Laden was around, when Saddam was still around, and Gaddafi. But when those 3 guys were taken down, ISIS rose to power. And there's a historic timeline. Excuse me. The condition that should trouble most Babylonians is the fact that America created ISIS when the smoke cleared. Okay? And that can very well come back to harm America. And I'll do my best to show some history to let y'all see America emphatically created ISIS. And if America created ISIS, and ISIS already taken credit for this strike, This is not good for the United States of America. Keep in mind, Putin already deployed the Sarmats just last year, and he could fire off one of my ICBMs at whenever he want. Okay. Let's get some scriptures on mine, and I'm not gonna really keep y'all, but I just want to bring that out, and I'll do my best to post some history to prove my point that, I mean, America might be finished, y'all. There's a clip where Putin even says they have better advanced nuclear weapons in comparison to the West. Putin says that in the interview, and y'all see that.
С военно-технической точки зрения мы, конечно, готовы. Они у нас постоянно находятся в состоянии боевой готовности. Это первое. А второе, и это тоже общепризнанная вещь, наша триада, ядерная триада, она является более современной, чем любая другая триада. А таких триад только вот у нас, да, американцев, на самом деле. И мы здесь продвинулись гораздо больше. У нас она более современная.
Let's just go into some destruction real quick. I'm looking for that classic. There's the classic in Revelation 18:8, but I don't really want that one. Well, let's read that to start it off. We're going to read that one to start it off, but that's not what I truly want to bring out. Revelation chapter 18:8, it reads this: Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judged her. That's going into the final judgment. But let's get the classic in 2 Peter 3. Excuse me. Still getting over this cold. Excuse me for the coughing. Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Putin have the power to shoot them ICBMs whenever he want. And you know, I brought out 2 Peter 3 and 10 because America fits the bill of that place that's going to be judged. You go into the historic accounts how ISIS got into their current state. America had their hand in this, man. And that's a huge death toll, over 130 dead and counting. Now they're investigating it. They're interrogating the people they have captured. It won't take long to find out that America had their hands in this. I'm telling y'all straight, man. There's a lot of hype about this April 8th, and I don't really get big on dates because none of us know the day or the hour. You have that phenomenon that might play out. But with this aftermath terrorist attack on the Russians, you best believe there's going to be some type of retaliation out of Moscow coming right at America. I mean, we take it one day at a time, but it's not good news for America. Let's get Isaiah 30. Gonna wind it down. It's serious though. I mean, America believed they could combat Russia, but when the smoke clear, if they couldn't even deal with the Ukraine conflict, how the hell are they gonna deal with Russia if Russia was to counterattack? Right? You got to consider it now. And for us in the knowledge of this truth, keep the commandments. Keep the commandments, because something very serious is coming to America very soon. I want Isaiah, let me try. Isaiah 34 and verse 5. It reads, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment." So that's dealing with these elites in power, how they have lied and deceived everyone. But due to the war, excuse me, we see there's no peace. There hadn't been no peace since World War II. And the so-called people that claim to be Israel continue to carpet bomb and push war on everybody else. But again, due to this aftermath, I'm telling y'all straight, something real serious is coming to America. And it's going to be some heavy judgments. Some severe judgments coming this way. So Israelites in the knowledge of this truth, keep the commandments. And pray you're delivered on the right-hand side. Because something very serious is coming to Babylon the Great. And that's really going into this judgment. But with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power of Israel, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai. Double honors to mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humble and sincerity. Israel, I love y'all. We got next. Shalom.